All right, well, let's get into the first game between Ek0p and Blackout.
Not only will you see it, but it's because it's Ek0p versus Blackout. So both of these guys, they practice together a lot. Yeah. So they're ready to beat. Like this is, it doesn't matter how much money was on the line. Like all that matters for these guys is pride. Like if winning was worth less than losing, they would still want to win just to rub it in the other one's face.
Yeah. Now, are they practicing with the decks that they're here with today, or do you think they change it up a little bit?
My guess is they're making some changes for sure. I mean,
of course.
You wouldn't want to show the exact same thing, but we'll see exactly what it's going to be. So it's going to be Warrior versus Priest to start things off. Very slow starting hand there for our Priest Blackout.
Yeah, pretty bad one, I think, to start out. You know, of course, Injured Blade Master is a really great card, but Harrison Jones, you got to find the right spot to get value from it. But Ek0p's hand doesn't look too.
That doesn't look too appealing.
It doesn't look too exciting. I mean, he's got a Harrison Jones in this matchup.
Ooh, Circle of Healing just got a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so scratch everything we just said. Yeah. This hand's really fantastic for Black right now.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things is the Warrior does have Ek0p. They actually have some pretty solid ways to deal with this, but
yeah.
I'm guessing it is just going to be, it's going to be the Circle coming out, and it's such a strong start. I mean, it's not as bad as like the coin one version of it, if you can coin it out in turn 2 and stuff.
Oh, I actually didn't even see the shield block in hand. Yeah. This is a huge mistake for me. Yeah, this is a really easy deal with from Blackout. He's pretty happy to see what just happened, and then, of course, Blackout I'm sure is not very. Oh, there's the BM already.
Thanks, man. I told you. I knew it. Yeah. So
punish him, Ek0p.
Yeah, so a 7 damage shield slam there, very nice, and has Cruel Task execute available as well. Looks like the Pyro may be developed here just because he's feeling like he wants to start dealing with that armor, and I mean it's one of the things that is pretty concerning. He's not going to decide to do it in the end, but it is something you really have to get worried about.
Yeah, I would like to see Wild Pyromancer here. I mean, just how much more value you're actually going to get from it in this matchup, especially.
It's a Warrior. There's not lots of little minions who are going to do those fancy plays.
Kind of good old solid play is really what's going to get you through this one. So you just need to play minions and you need to start punching.
What do you think about just the Harrison here, just to challenge the 5/5? You're not going to get any better value from it. I mean, you could just do a sludge, but I like Harrison quite a lot.
The only value you really can get from it is if they say like Blackout plays like a Blingtron, or if he steals a weapon, or some really obscure.
I don't think you should play around that.
I don't think you should either. I think that playing the. I mean, that's really the only other justification for holding it. I think instead of playing it the way he did.
Yep, and it does turn out quite nicely. Gets the trade he wants. And already up to effectively, 42. Make it 40.
No,
47.
having 17 armor is not a big deal right now.
Yeah. No, not at all.
None whatsoever. The 5/5 is a bigger deal than the extra 17. Would you rather have 17 extra health to start or 5/5 to start?
5/5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. What if everyone knew that you were starting with a 5/5?
Still a 5/5 probably.
Really? Man, you'd play against so many priests.
What?
You'd play against so many priests that way though.
I mean, like, you mean if everyone knew and they got to like choose what class they're playing against you and stuff? I just feel like starting the game with a 5/5 you're talking about. Literally on turn 1, I just have a 5/5 down. 5/5.
Okay, yeah, I would too.
Yeah, every time. Yeah.
I know there's got to be someone out there who's like, what?
I don't think so.
17 health.
No, turn 1 5/5 just like wins you the game.
There's got to be at least one guy out there.
Yeah, maybe. There's that one guy like, that's me. You guys are wrong.
5/5 on turn 1 is definitely better than 17 health.
Yeah, for sure.
And then someone out there is like, well, yeah, why would I start with 17 health? I can start with 30.
But why not both? You can have it all. So he's thinking about maybe just Fiery War Axe with Cruel Task, I'm guessing. I think that's probably going to be the play. Could also be Acolyte Whirlwind. I think that would be pretty reasonable as well.
Yeah, I'm curious exactly where he's going to go with this.
I think Acolyte Whirlwind's probably better than Cruel Task. What do you think?
It probably is.
Because you guarantee the 2 card draws and stuff.
He gets an armor up this way too, so he can also Cruel Taskmaster's Acolyte after this. I mean, this is a lot of potential cards.
Yeah, 3 card draws potentially. Or there's a silence. I don't know if he's going
to uses the Cruel Taskmaster, he does sometimes lose an execute value, but he's getting so far ahead in cards at this point. I don't think this is really a concern of his. He's got Explosive Sheep in here. This is actually the first time we've seen it in this tournament so far. Is Explosive Sheep and Vol'jin drawn from Blackout now. Vol'jin is one of those cards that I feel like, myself included, really misevaluated it. Like, I thought this card was insane when it first got spoiled.
And now you don't think so?
I think it's a very good card, but I mean, I remember in the review that I did with these guys, we all thought it was just busted.
Yeah.
Like how can you make a legendary like Vol'jin?
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why it maybe isn't as good as it has been is because I don't feel like Priest got that much better with the new expansion. I think Priest got a lot of tools that it was missing.
Like Shrinkmeister and stuff.
But it didn't get something like, for instance, Warrior got Shield Maiden, and Shield Maiden has just been a dominant force so far in tournament stuff.
Alex Straza is like kind of tempting here a bit, but I guess that would really suck with mind control.
Yeah, he's gonna try to get something worse mind controlled first.
Yeah. I mean, Vol'jin, I've had it like single-handedly win games against me, but it was in combination with some really other nice stuff like the time rewind. I actually had a Vol'jin played 3 turns in a row with the time rewind thing, and it was actually really brutal.
Yeah. You're like the one giving him the time rewind.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Your mechanical
Off my
Yetis.
mechanical
Yeah.
Yetis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But this is a spot where Vol'jin, of course, getting a lot of value here.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I mean, see, the other thing it works really well with is Organized Soul Priest with your
Yep.
hero power. See, that's what was happening to me is Vol'jin plus the hero power takes out anything. So it is pretty nice in
it's
some
basically a
situations.
fire elemental here,
Yeah.
and this is like a bad case scenario for Vol'jin.
Yeah.
Pretty good card.
It is a
Not
pretty good card.
quite as strong as I thought it was. but
It's yeah.
certainly.
It's not the end all be all, but it's
Yeah.
it's damn good.
Ek0p, meanwhile, picking up a lot of good stuff for him.
Nice though that he is sitting with the Harrison. I mean, the Harrison is like he's pretty low on hands. I mean, low on cards. So I mean, it's gonna be the Harrison coming out here. We'll see what he draws. But being able to deny that is relatively nice. Thought steal, not too bad. We'll see what he gets.
Hopefully, I think
Could
he
be
wants to get a
really
weapon.
good.
He wants to get a gore.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
and
by
an
and
execute.
Oh my god, that's really nice.
Yeah, I actually like that he's healing here instead of using the execute too, because this
Yeah.
keeps his Harrison alive
Yeah.
through that potential.
Gorehowl.
Wow, he could have stolen Gorehowl too.
Darn.
So brutal. And that was Harrison's
But-
gone for the Gorehowl too.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that was like it's the smart play. He had nothing else to do there.
No,
so
I
you can't
agree with
blame
you.
him.
It's really, but like it's
And
so
there's
brutal.
the thanks again.
When you're sitting in that seat and you just play Harrison and then they drop Gorehowl,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what happened? Why
Where
is
did
this
it all
happening?
go wrong?
How could this happen to me?
Oh man. Well, Death Fight, not too bad.
Oh, that's a really nice draw here too, because he gets to. I mean, this is going to take out a charge of the Gorehowl and keep his 4-5 protected for a turn.
Yep. And he's gonna be able to steal the taunt up.
2 explosive sheeps from Ek0p.
Mm-hmm.
Really focusing on beating these early game decks and like swinging the board against like Muster for Battle and Quartermaster.
Yeah. And I mean, it must really feel like. I mean, the Warrior has so many strong late game options. He's probably feeling like that's really more where he's vulnerable. And so I think he's maybe gonna go explosive sheep here.
If he plays explosive sheep, I would anticipate the fact that he's going to use Gorehowl as well. Like he's going to Cruel Taskmaster.
Yeah,
the
Cruel
explosive
Task,
sheep.
kill the Cabal.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot to invest. I mean, can't you just like pay the extra life and?
Yeah, I kind of agree because I think that your Cruel Task is just gonna die as well and stuff.
Yeah.
So
This has been sitting in hand for a while too. I've been kind of wondering when he's going to play this Alex Strauza.
it's gonna get taken away though.
Yeah, and there's brawl potential.
Yep. Very true. So, would be shocked if we didn't see the mind control come out. I mean, it's potential. He potentially could just hit face and then execute as well, or holding.
Oh,
the
actually,
execute.
if he used mind control there, he was just dead. He's got Grommash in hand, so that's
Yeah, sure.
So that's why he didn't mind control. He's thinking about how do I keep myself alive versus a Grommash turn. And this
The
is
thought
actually the way he
steal
does
cards were actually so good though. I mean, he stole
Yeah.
Death Fight and execute. Like these have been huge.
12, 17, he's 2 damage off. Wow, that Holy Nova heal,
Wow.
very critical so far this game. That's the 2 extra damage that Ek0p needed to finish this game.
Yeah. The priest's hand has just looked so dead. I mean, it's like, it just hasn't felt like he's had a lot of really good options here. I mean,
This is going to be like a recovery turn for him. Though. Like,
Yeah.
what does Ek0p do this turn that threatens his board? He's just going to continue to heal up at this
yeah,
point.
not much, but at the same time, just sitting with 3 spells is kind of not really what you're hoping
Yeah.
for. But we'll have to see what he draws. It's looking like maybe Grommash.
All right, so Grommash here, there's 2 reasons why I like it. The first one is if you give him an extra turn,
Yeah.
he's going to start undoing all the work that Alex Strauza just did. So you have to make something happen here. I think
Do
this
you
is
use your
just the way
weapon
to do it.
charge as well?
I think he used the weapon on the 4/5.
Yeah, I like that much more.
Yeah. So this is going to get mind controlled a lot, obviously, and that's a ton of damage that he's looking at. But now that he's picked up this Sludge Belcher, maybe it's silence instead now.
It's possible. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, you're so low. It's really a scary position, but at the same time, like not mind control, I feel like you kind of have to.
Yep. Wow. Ek0p needs 1 damage to finish up this game unless.
He's gonna trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, it's such a brutal spot to trade.
Deathbite not going to really help him, though. He's going to have to use the Execute here, it looks like.
Do you play one of these sheeps?
I don't know. I think so. I think like you're really kind of struggling for the extra little bit of damage at this point. Looks like he's going to put up the Deathbite. We'll see if he does decide to pop that out.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to drop one. Maybe two. We'll see. Probably at least just one, though.
I think 2 would be a little bit.
A little bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Blackout gonna be able to heal up here and make sure he drops a Sludge Belcher behind this. And again, all this work that Gromish and Alex Straza just did, this is gonna start to be undone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna be potentially kind of tough here. We'll see what he draws, but I mean, Dr. Boom,
Wow,
okay,
that is
changes
certainly
things.
a really
Yeah,
good one right now.
That really changes things.
Blackout could potentially die next turn from Dr. Boom.
Just the bombs.
Just the bots, yeah.
Yeah, even if you stop everything. Looks like he actually wants to clear this up as well. He's going to use a 2 damage shield slam plus the weapon charge. Just getting super aggressive here. Feels like he can finish it off, and we'll see if he's right. I mean, even if you clear this, like you said, with the Wild Pyromancer, it's like you can just die of the bombs.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's like...
This is what he needed to do, though. I mean, he needed to take this aggressive stance in order to start winning. This is why he Gromished, is because if you look at his deck, he doesn't have that many cards left, so his draw density is really high. I mean, he's only got 5 cards left in his deck, and this is after he's drawn Dr. Boom, of course. But you know, when he has 7 cards left, what are the legendaries he still? He's still, you know,
Rag maybe.
Ragnaros is certainly in his deck. Dr. Boom was in his deck. Maybe he has
Iron
Baron
Juggernaut,
Gun in here. Yeah, the Iron he played Iron Juggernaut. He mulliganed Iron Juggernaut earlier, right?
Okay, yeah, so I think so. Yeah, so he still has it in there.
Yeah, so he still has Iron Juggernaut, and like Blackout's kind of getting, you know, towards that point where Iron Juggernaut starts to get a little bit scary. I mean, a 10% draw, a chance to draw 10 damage instead.
Just to draw lethal.
Yeah, that's not the kind of spot you want to be in. So this aggressive stance from Ek0p, you know, really paying off here.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing Blackout. He's got to think this through, but it's so hard. It's like, what do you really do? Because the thing is, you want to keep that taunt alive, but there's such a high chance of the bombs hitting your taunt. So I mean, it's really brutal. It's like, do you attack? Just go face Pyromancer, fully smite.
That, he's got to deal with the Dr. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, like, that's what I'm saying. It's I don't know, man. I don't think, is there even any way he can clear this? Is he just dead regardless? Because he has weapon charge plus the damage. Yeah, he's just dead regardless. I don't think there's anything he can do.
Drops to 1.
It didn't even matter, did it?
Yeah.
Even if the bombs didn't hit the ooze, he still would have been able to clear with the weapon plus Dr. Boom to the face. There was nothing he could have done to actually kill the Dr. Boom, so none of that actually mattered. So it looks like we're already a couple turns in, actually. So apologies for that, but we are now just hopping into the game, and it is going to be Warrior versus Mage here, and you know, we've got a Ragnaros, we've got a Doomsayers, we've got a Freeze Mage on our hands, even Molten and Giant. So how do you feel about you know, some of the addition of some of these cards? I mean, playing with the Ragnaros and a Flame Strike in there as well, anti-Heal Bot. We have definitely some different variations on this.
Well, Freeze Mage is something that traditionally has struggled a lot versus Warrior, but when I see all these cards in his hand, you know, maybe this is something that has Ek0p and Deep in here. So we can pick up some really good Molten Giant turns. But this Slime actually going to get duplicated, and his hand is full, so a card's actually going to get burned here too. You know, certainly a spot that he didn't really want to be in.
No, and that's kind of a gross duplicate.
Yeah, I mean, the Mad Scientist, like, you know, he's drawn both of his ice blocks at this point, so duplicate's the only thing that kind of gets. This looks like it's been a pretty unfortunate pan out. But again, Freeze Mage, a deck that kind of has struggled versus Warrior in the past, but now we see Mechanical Yeti. I have not seen this build yet, and frankly, I don't know exactly what's going on, so we're going to have to wait and see.
So it's
how this develops.
He's looking at the Doomsayers. It's got to be Doomsayer Frostnova.
Yeah. I mean, we've missed some mulligans and stuff too here, so
Yeah.
you know, kind of making do with the information we have.
Yeah. But definitely pretty unfortunate to be discarding a Mechanical Yeti for that Slime.
Pretty tough turn here now from Ek0p. Looks like he's going to have to use a Shield Slam on this Doomsayer. I can't say I blame him for that. That's a really big board presence he has built up, and I think Blackout might have been relying on that Doomsayer to get a lot of work done.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Flame Strike available, but still, it doesn't really deal with it that well. I mean, you're leaving a 5/1 body up. You're leaving, you know, the ooze up as well. So it's going to be just potentially setting up for that Flame Strike. Maybe I'm guessing he's going to ping the 5/5. Yeah.
I mean, this really sends a big message to
Of
Ek0p
course,
about
it makes
what's
it
going
so
on.
obvious.
What can he do about that?
Not much.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you know, well, the one thing is you could not develop your board further into it. You know, you cannot play into that, I guess. But besides that, it's really not a lot. We'll see, is there a second duplicate in there? Yeah, so there's another secret in there. Let's find out exactly what that is. So here's Ice Block and duplicate. So he has a second duplicate up there. And does have the potential, you know, like you talked about with Molten Giant turns and things like that.
Wow, Ek0p actually is going to develop Iron Juggernaut here too.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he's not going to have the mana for the ping plus the Flame Strike, so he's saying it's worth the extra damage.
Oh my gosh.
He actually draws it.
And he
wow.
draws the mine.
And my
right
thanks comes out from Ek0p. Draws it the first turn. That is just brutal.
14-1 to draw the Burrowing Mine
Oh,
right
no.
away. Oh my gosh.
Oh, God, that is brutal, man. And he can play a Molten Giant. I mean, the Icebox is going to be triggered here. I feel like he should just drop the Zombie Chow, man. I mean, who cares? He's at full HP. Why not drop that? Why didn't he drop the Zombie Chow?
I don't know, man.
I don't actually get that.
He just might be a little bit tilted after.
I think that is...
I mean, this game is pretty much, I feel like he's kind of resided to his fate at this point.
Yeah, but
Almost.
still, I mean, if you're going to stay in the game, you should at least drop that to clean up the ooze, right?
I agree.
That's potentially missing 8 face damage.
Oh, it's because
he can
he has a duplicate on
Alexstrasza.
board. That's why he didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And he can Alexstrasza up, so I mean, he still is alive, but unfortunately, I mean, the thing is, because he didn't drop Zombie Chow, he can't clear the 6/1 and Alexstrasza. I mean, I just think that was
Yeah,
not
he's,
really...
he's going to have to heal bot instead, but
Yeah.
you know, he's threatened by Grommash at that point, so not a comfortable position to be in. But
Yeah.
maybe he just would have had to sacrifice his other duplicate this game. I don't think it's unreasonable.
I feel like he should have still, because even if he heal bot and ice blocks and stuff, if he heal bot ice blocks, he can't ping then too. So it's like he actually I think that was actually can be pretty game changing.
Yeah, Ek0p really Ek0p's really thinking about killing this Molten Giant too.
Yeah. I'm actually really sad they didn't Zombie Chow. I think it actually could make a big difference here.
Yep. There's the Echo Medivh. I actually really like heal bot thing here.
He can't though. He doesn't have enough mana.
Well, not once he drops the other ice block. No.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think he should just forego developing the ice block here.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine if he had dropped the Zombie Chow there. Then now the 6/1 is dead. He has the ability to have Ek0p Medivh. He still has that up, and he can still play Alexstrasza the next turn. He's actually looking kind of good. Now, in this position, things are kind of gross.
Of course, he doesn't know he's going to try the Echo either.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
But I mean, even discounting the Echo, it's like, yeah, you know, he could get a bad duplicate. Sure, that sucks, but the trade-off there is being able to actually break through that ooze for free. Yeah. And I just think that was actually like a considerable misjudgment.
Iron Juggernaut's done so much work in this game.
Yeah.
It's gotten 22 points of damage.
All right, so it's going to be Ek0p duplicate. That is pretty nice.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of Molten Giants behind an ice block.
Interesting that he didn't actually, hit the 3/3 with his weapon first. Why do you think that is?
I think he's just trying to kill him.
Yeah. But doesn't he know it's a second ice block for sure, though?
It could have been an oversight.
Doesn't he know it's a second ice block? He does, right?
He's got to know it's a second ice block, I think.
Yeah. So he just is valuing putting him at 1 HP more?
I mean, do you want to give your opponent 16 points of heal, too, though?
Yeah, that's true. That's
a
very
lot.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that is the concern. And I guess it's very fair. I guess he just feels like he can kill him.
Oh, my gosh. Look at the turn that's about to happen.
Yeah, holy. And I mean, still has the ice block up there, so... God. And he's going to be able to Alexstrasza up. And wow, what a turn. Oh my God, that board.
What just happened to this game?
Nothing good for Ek0p, that's for sure. But, and I mean, the Alexstrasza not going to be very helpful here. I mean, he's pretty much got to play it just because he needs to get something down there. Just Alexstrasza's opponent, I guess. Do you think he's just going to Alexstrasza him and then attack his face again?
Well, he's got to figure out a way to do something. I mean,
I think you have to just play the Alexstrasza. Yeah, I think this is the right play. I actually favor using the weapon on the ooze because it can't be just killed with the ping, you know? Because then you're forcing 2 attacks from the 8/8s.
well, it also is like,
Right.
If he pings this, he's not pinging the Iron Juggernaut.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So that is something to consider as well. I mean, Ragnaros could come down here as well. I mean, I think Ragnaros ping is pretty. Or do you echo and just keep spamming?
I think Ek0p looks pretty good.
Just keep spamming Molten Giants.
Yeah.
I mean, are you not worried still about kind of dying here though? I guess.
Well, he's got a nice block up.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
I mean,
but I guess
Brawl
so
is
he has
the
an
only
extra
thing he's
turn,
worried about.
and he can Alex Straza again the turn after that now. So I mean,
Brawl is the only thing he was worried about, and
Yeah.
he didn't see a Brawl last turn, so I don't think he thinks the Ek0p has Brawl.
yeah, and I mean the fact that he can Alex Straza again after this is pretty insane.
Mechanical Yeti Sword of Lens getting me.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like why it's in the deck, you mean? Yeah.
Seems a little bit out of place.
God, look at this! Holy crap! Have you ever seen that many 8/8s on the board?
Not in a long time.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Oh, an explosive sheep. That is literally the opposite of what you want. I mean, with Whirlwind, double explosive sheep, he can deal 5 damage to everything. So he could kill a Yeti. He could kill the. I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? It kills two minions. You can execute a third. So it's the play. Draws a rusty horn.
That's an important one right now.
Yeah.
Blackout actually able to just Alex Straza his opponent if he wants.
Mm. I think Alex Straza himself is really good, man. Just delaying the ice block. It's just like, how do you lose from here? You know, like
It's a
if
really
you
tough
keep your
spot to
health high
lose.
up, and look at him just spamming, spamming the
Wow,
emotes.
and that's just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Ek0p's not even gonna try it. Does Ek0p not have?
Alrighty. So, gonna be hopping on in.
Yeah, Mulligan's already underway. Looks like Ek0p's got a pretty fantastic hand though.
Yeah.
This is a matchup though that it's sort of in the same vein. Not always been favored against Freeze Mage,
Yeah.
but this isn't like a traditional Freeze Mage deck. I mean, this is like Ek0p Giants. It's doing a very different game plan than what Freeze Mage has traditionally done. A lot of similarities, of course, but not exactly the 100% the deck that we've always seen.
Yeah.
Where you try to rely on Alex Straza and burn spells to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to see exactly how this does pan out. The polymorph going to come out here early on, and we're unfortunately looks like we're unable to actually spectate the mage for some reason. It's not allowing us to get in there. It's asking us to challenge him and not spectate. So I'm not sure if that's a setting or what is going on with that. But hopefully, we can continue this. We may just have to watch this one just from one side of things.
Oh my gosh. That makes it so tense too, because we
I
don't know
know.
how many Molten Giants are going to happen.
Yeah.
Is he going to get another 4 Molten Giant turn?
Yeah, we'll see. So he's going to decide to just silence us up, and he kept bringing out the hand lock here. And I mean, this could be it could be the battle of the Molten Giants. Just Molten Giants coming down everywhere for both sides. But Mechanical Yeti going to be played up here, and
Pretty lackluster turn
yeah,
turn 5, aside from this Mountain Giant. But again, I don't know if Fireballs are in here. We don't know if Polymorphs are in here. Like
well,
maybe
one
this is just
polymorph did already come out.
okay, so we've seen a Polymorph?
Yeah,
Okay, that was on the Twilight Drake.
yep,
I have
Okay.
no time for games.
yep.
So
So
Sylvanas
polymorph
in this deck too.
has already been played. So, oof, ouch. Now, do you?
Well, I imagine you're going to silence the Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty straightforward
Yeah,
play.
of course, but it's just a question. Do you think you start getting aggressive, or do you feel like you're just too under pressure here? You start clearing.
I
I
think
mean,
you're
you
under,
have a lot of taunts. You have double antique heal bot. You have, but I guess you just don't know the potential for damage. You know what he already has in his hand with fireballs and stuff. Like you said, we don't know. With the taunt up, he's gonna go face though.
Yep, I think that this is a totally fine line
Yeah,
to
I
play.
like this.
When you're unfamiliar with decks like this, it probably is a little bit worse of an idea to just strictly try to control it.
Yeah,
You probably should be taking an aggressive stance. He's going to get punished here by Flame Strike.
yeah. But still, he's doing all right for himself. And decides not to attack
Yeah.
there with the Mechanical Yeti, which I think is pretty intelligent. A nice draw off the top of the Mountain Giant. Going to be able to be dropped down here. Going to tap up first.
Gosh, Mountain Giant's so good.
Really is. So it's hard to know really exactly where we stand. I mean, Toshly coming out, interesting. We'll see what Spare Party actually gets. I mean, if you get a freeze here, it's pretty darn nice.
Yeah, that's a
Freeze would be the dream, I
that's a
think.
pretty good one.
We'll see though.
I wonder why. Do you think Archmage is in here?
I think there's definitely a potential, especially with all the spare part
Yeah,
addition. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Doomsayer.
Wow.
Just wants to use that, I think, to just soak up a hit, I guess.
Fine,
What
look
just got burned?
Sludge Belcher.
Okay.
Yeah. Mechanical Yeti actually burning a card here for the spare part that Havoc's getting.
Pretty nice. Oh, reversing switch. Oh, man, that spare part.
Oh, gosh, I didn't even
God.
see that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, that's so brutal.
That's so brutal. Wow.
Just 1 mana, destroy the Doomsayer.
Yeah. And that's the ups and the downs, man, of playing these spare parts, and something that we've talked about before. You know, it can win you games. Like the freeze came out, that would have felt great, but in this case, reversing switch is insane against Doomsayer. And it's something that I really haven't even thought about. It's not something that I've encountered a lot. Obviously, it's so good against totems and something that I've seen and experienced a lot, but haven't really seen it used on a Doomsayer yet until this point.
It's the first time I've seen an opportunity for that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like I've just never even crossed my mind really.
A lot
because
of pressure now coming out on the Blackout side of the board. 9 cards. There's 3 of these are spare parts.
I think so, yeah. He hasn't played any of them yet. He has 1 from Toshli's Draw, 1 from Toshli's Death, and 1 from Mechanical Yeti. So second Mechanical Yeti going to come down here. And, I mean, he's probably just going to Dark Bomb up at least the anti-Keelbot. And he's still sitting on 2 of his own, so I mean, he really is not concerned about his life totals just yet. And I think the other thing is he may want to save them for after something like an Alexstrasza or whatever, you know. You don't want to heal up too much and then just have it all your hard work removed. You think he'd think about just going face and Shadow Flaming?
I mean, I think it's a possibility to look at, but you know, I think that healing here is just too important. We've connected on the Blackout side of the board now, so
Yeah,
glimpse
healing
of
up
his
the
hand.
Giants very nicely.
4 spare parts in hand. 3 of them are minion buffs, and not actually the utility spells that you want to typically see.
And a freeze actually is picked up here by Ek0p. So the freeze actually could be pretty useful. He's already had 1 spare part that was game changing, and another could be pretty huge as well. But now we actually do have vision of the other side of things. And he's going to get so many fireballs here. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
Wow. And so he just picks up
Is
the
Ek0p 1 damage off
triple
lethal?
fireball.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's 18 damage.
I mean, he could just freeze and go face.
Yeah, you could do that. I think that probably Siphon Soul's a little bit better.
Mm.
You know, it's pretty tough to take 17.
Yeah, I
in
guess
this
you're
position.
worried about just giving and giving even more
Yeah.
fireballs and stuff. So, yeah. Well, we shall see. It's looking like it's going to be Siphon Soul. Definitely mousing over that. This is going to be the play, and going to decide to taunt up as well.
Yeah, this is just for the extra damage.
Yeah.
Continue to apply pressure. So if no second flame strike is in here, you know, Blackout's actually in a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, even with the fireballs, he still has the anti-Keelbot staying in his hand. So, Frost Nova is definitely something very helpful.
Wow.
Frost Nova, let's see, is he going to go with the Doomsayer? Is there an answer to this? I mean, he can Shadow Flame, so that's the answer.
Yep.
He's going to Shadow Flame up his Molten Giant. But you have to come back to that reversing switch turn, man. Like, that is so brutal.
Usually the second one was a reversing switch. Like, instead of being this freeze effect, it was just another.
Yeah,
it was just
he's
another
mousing
reversing
over it,
switch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the Shadow Flame, though, I think, on the A3. So, I mean, Ek0p Medivh, duplicate. Nothing too helpful here, really. It's just harder to see his win at all.
Man, it seems so hard for Freeze Mage to win this matchup now that Anti-Keelbot's been added to
Yeah,
this deck.
it's just so much healing. And the thing is, he's running Earthring Farseer as well, which
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen. I've usually seen the Earthring Farseer just replaced by the Anti-Keelbots. I haven't actually seen both. And I mean, the amount of healing that's in this deck now is just crazy, because it's already 16 from the Anti-Keelbots, and additional 6, that's 24 healing. Plus, if you have like Alexstrasza or something, he probably doesn't, but I mean, there's other potentials like Draxus and
Yeah.
Alexstrasza and whatever.
If he's
But I
running,
mean,
if he's running 2 Anti-Keelbots, I imagine it's probably 1 Earthen Ring Farseer.
mhm.
Seems a little ambitious to run 2 and 2.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I've never even seen the 2-in-1 yet.
Yeah, so he's going to use Dark Bomb here instead, preserving
Okay.
his Ek0p. This is a pretty heads-up play, actually. It's like, when is he really going to get too much value out of this Dark Bomb?
Yeah, that's true. Well, Molten Giant does have the Echo. Is he going to decide to play it? I think he probably will. I mean, he has duplicates, so he can start setting up some pretty nice plays here. We'll see what he's going to go for.
Yeah, he's going to get, I think, a little bit of a rude awakening here when he finds these 2 NT Healbots getting played.
Yeah.
But
But
oh
really,
my gosh, and there's
and
Jiraxis.
So it's just additional healing as well. I mean, it could be double Molten Giant and 2 Healbots. How do you lose after that?
It's pretty tough to lose after that. Blackout, we need to draw,
I think that's what it's going to be, man.
Arcane Int into...
He's going to be up to 26 HP. 26 HP with 3 8 attack minions on the board.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably going to trade in 1, but still. Well, maybe he won't even trade in 1. Maybe he
I
just
think
wants to proc.
I think he's going to
Yeah,
pop
just proc
this
dice
block, yeah.
block,
Yeah, it's not like he's worried about Shadow Flame.
yeah. May as well just double heal.
I think the question in his mind is if he needs to double heal.
Yeah. That's true. I guess he doesn't. I mean, what's the most potential damage he could have? You know, it's 2 fireballs and a frostbolt or something. We haven't even seen a frostbolt.
Frostbolt,
yet, but-
Frostbolt, Ice Lance,
Yeah,
Fireball.
but I don't think he's playing that in this deck.
I don't
Doesn't
think he's
seem like
playing
it.
either.
No. Like, there's too many other cards. I don't think you can fit all that in.
Also, if he's kept really close count, there's still a spare part in the hand.
Yep. I think he probably has. So, one heal block would be 2. It's going to be 2. And that's probably going to be the concede, I think.
Yeah, this is a
He's
rough
back
spot.
to full HP, and that's a fairly good board, I would
Well,
say.
he could stay alive another turn. He could Mad Scientist, Fireball his own Mad Scientist, hope to grab Ice Block off of it.
Yeah,
But then how does he deal 26 points of damage?
I don't know. That's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? And I think the answer is he doesn't. It's looking like Ek0p, though, going to take another game and going to be up 2-1 if he is able to do it. Putting himself at match point, perhaps, here.
Look at these board states.
I know, it's so ridiculous. The last game and this game, dude. Absolutely insane.
Only fair with all the Giants last game now on
Yeah.
this side.
Yeah, exactly. Tit for tat. So.
Return of the Molten Giant. Rated R.
Well, he's just going to basically concede by
Yep, there's the concession. Ping
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
Oh, not even ping himself. Wow.
Aw.
What a bad sport.
Yeah. All right, so that is going to be
That's
it.
gonna be him right there, right? Turns it around.
Yeah, so like Dark Bomb can help disrupt early what's going on. You know, it's a really great answer to Undertaker in general, but sort of the bigger picture here is if Hunter doesn't stumble, it's going to be a pretty big favorite. And just look at the hand from Ek0p straight away. Big Game Hunter, Dr. Boom, Molten Giant. This is
Yeah.
not the kind of start you want.
It's very slow. And we're just going to need to wait on an invite again, I think, here from our Hunter side. So not going to be able to see exactly what is being played. With the coin coming out, yeah, I was going to guess on a Creeper, so it is going to be that coming down. And, you know, we'll just have to see exactly what is going to be available for him. I mean, Shadow Flame, not really something that he's hoping for either, I don't think.
Yeah,
Another
second
Haunted Creeper.
So even Hellfire already being worked against. Big Game Hunter, I think, is pretty likely to come down this turn.
Yeah.
He did just drop Mountain Giant, though. But Mountain Giant's just not a card that you really can play in this matchup. You have to actually be doing stuff to the board.
Freezing traps and stuff are just so
Yeah.
devastating against it. Abuser,
Savage.
ouch. That's not really a card that you see very often in Hunter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect this to be a Hunter deck that's really going to turn up the heat. Like,
Yeah, really rushed down.
I would expect this to have something like Wolf Rider and Arcane Golem in it after you see the Abusive Sergeant.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we do have Hunter's View now, and he is playing Jeeves, Arcane Golem, as you said, Kazan Mystic, and a Tracking in hand as well. So interesting to see the Mystic in there.
Yeah, this is a card.
Maybe just a nod to Freeze Mages and stuff.
Well, I think it might just be the replacement for Flare. You know, Flare at 2 mana
Yeah.
is a pretty hefty cost, but
Yeah.
Keys and Mystic at the end of the day is a 4/3. So maybe just the fact that it's that body to go along with it is just enough.
He's actually going to choose another Tracking out of his Tracking. Kill Command,
Yep.
definitely going to be the choice there.
Really quick play on Blackout side of the board.
all going to be face, man. All face all the time. And so far, not really a lot of great options
Yeah, this
here.
board about to get swept. I mean, Ek0p down to 14.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to see how much work this hunter can get done. But Ek0p looked like he's done a pretty decent job stabilizing so far. But this is 6 more points of damage. I don't really know if he's going to be able to fight through this one. This is just a lot. And he's got 2 Molten Giants, so I mean, this is if the turn's going to happen. This is the turn it's going to happen.
Antique
Oh, and he
Healbot.
picks up
Oh,
Antique
man.
Healbot.
So this is actually such a good turn. He can double Molten Giant, Dark Bomb, Arcane, and Antique Healbot.
Yep.
And that is definitely the play. And that is such a nice play for him there. He's going to be able to clean it up, start putting on the pressure, heal back up to a pretty healthy amount.
Wow.
I mean, it's not 100% over just yet because he hasn't drawn a taunt or anything like that, but still, it's looking pretty brutal.
I mean, 16 health and then.
And that's the risk you take, though, when you go all in like that against a Warlock. I mean, if they have the double Molten Giants in your hand, and I mean, he was definitely, hoping that he wouldn't. When you consider, there's still 20 cards in his deck. He's only in the first 10 cards of his deck, and he has the double Molten Giant.
This is just lethal right here. This is 23 points of damage.
Yeah, you're right. That is it, man. Oh my God. And what a turnaround.
Unless he fails to attack incorrectly here, but he picks up Siphon Soul even, so it's it's pretty hard to really attack it correctly in this position. And you test to see if it's freezing trap, and then
as soon as he sees it's not, then that's game. We'll see. A little bit of hesitation, but I think he's going to come around to it. Like you said, there's not really anything else for him to do. He's going to attack this turn. As soon as he attacks with his first minion, he'll see it's not freezing trap, and that is going to be that.
wow, just like that, Handlock ends the game. Antique Healbot, exactly the card that you were referencing.
Yeah.
But 2 Molten Giants obviously playing a significant role in this game so far.
And I mean, the thing is, it's like you have to take that risk as the hunter sometimes, and you have to go for the chance. I mean, he felt like he had a great opportunity to do it. And when you're talking about the amount of cards that are still left in his deck, there was 20 cards still yet to be drawn. He already had both his